Hey, this is Jason Kanigan with Pain Free Profits here with a quick video on cold calling, which seems to be a real issue on the forum right now. There's a lot of people who are new to prospecting by phone. They get a script from me or somebody else and they start using it and they make a few calls and then they say, oh, it's not working. I'm frustrated. I'm upset. Nobody wants to talk. So I want to offer some advice that will help you deal with that. Before we go any further, I want to mention the Boston hat that I said I'd wear from my sister-in-law, Misha. Here it is. So she'll be happy. But let's begin with what's going on between your ears. This thing is the number one issue in selling. If you can get past this, you're going to be ahead of tons of salespeople who have years and years of experience, because this is the sort of thing that stops them. It's called head trash. And it's ideas, limiting beliefs that you have, and everybody's got them at some level or another, okay, that are blocking you from taking the actions that you need to take in order to get to success. Now, I'll give you an example. When I started out in selling, I would, well, maybe this was, it was a few years after I started out in selling too, because we didn't use the internet so much when I started. But I would look up the bios of top officers of big corporations, so CFOs, CEOs, and VP sales and stuff like that of big companies that I was going to call on. And sometimes I would get overawed by this glorious depiction of this person, and I'd forget that they put their pants on the same way that the rest of us do. And I'd get too awed to call them, or if I did call them, I'd get tongue-tied, Okay. Knowing what I know now, it's easy for me to call these people and have a normal conversation with them. Okay? There's two main pieces of head trash that are going to block you when you're starting out. And these things kind of wear down regular salespeople too. So these are important things to learn. First worry is that people aren't going to find what you have to say valuable. And the second thing is that you're worried about that they're not going to want to talk. Okay? Well, remember that you're a 10 for the first one. You have value, you have expertise. Every time you're reaching out to call somebody and talk to somebody, you're trying to share that expertise. Okay? This is a valuable call. When you're talking to a prospect, remember they have either they don't have the expertise or they have no inclination to apply that expertise because they're busy delegating, okay, and managing. So what you bring to the table has value every time. If they want to be a jerk and dismiss you, that's okay. You got to immune yourself to that a little bit. Think of yourself, your personality is safe in a castle with a drawbridge and a moat around it. And when you raise that drawbridge, which you should when you're calling, remember, you're not inviting these people over to dinner. You're not trying to turn them into your best buddy. Okay? You're just calling. I'm trying to share some expertise. So take the stress out of it. Be a little less serious. When you raise that drawbridge, nobody can get in and mess with you. You're a 10, you're in the castle, you're fine. Okay? Maybe put that up somewhere near where you prospect so that you can see while you're calling. That you're providing value with every call and that you're a 10 all the time. Nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. I think Eleanor Roosevelt said that. That sinked in a little bit. Okay, so that deals with our first worry, that people aren't going to take you seriously or aren't going to perceive value. Okay, well, you are providing value, regardless of whether they acknowledge it or not. That's your intention. Okay, you're out there trying to look for people you can solve problems for. Second thing is people aren't going to want to talk. Okay, accept the fact that some people just aren't going to want to talk. That's okay. There are lots of people out there who view the phone ringing and it not being a customer calling them for an order as an annoyance and an interruption of their day. This particularly happens in England. When I talk to UK people, there's a lot of them who just find prospecting calls that are incoming annoying. I guess they get all their business through referrals, but the more prospecting you do, the more lenient you're going to be with people who have to do it and who call you. If they do a bad job, you might want to give them some advice. But Remember, our focus when we're calling is to qualify our prospect, in or out. It doesn't matter which, okay? It doesn't matter to me which when I'm calling. You're either in and interested and you have pain and a problem, or you're out for some budget or personality or lack of pain fit problem, okay? So some people just aren't going to want to take your call. That's okay. And some people aren't going to be available when you call, okay? So remember that. Half the people you call aren't going to be in, and half of the people who answer aren't going to be free to talk right then. They may want to talk to you, but it's just a bad time. So right there, 1 in 4 is what you're down to. 1 in every 4 of your calls on average is actually going to get to a person who's going to pick up the phone and be ready to talk to you. Now the beauty of this, though, is that everybody picks up their phone quite a lot of the time. You can call the chairman of IBM, and I don't know, 1 in 4, 1 in 7 times that they actually pick up their phone, they will pick it up unguarded without a secretary or a gatekeeper in between. That's pretty cool, I think. So your chances of actually being able to talk to a high-level person, a decision maker, are really good. Okay? So our focus is on qualifying our prospect, in or out. It does not matter which. That's head trash. We're not going to go, oh my gosh, I have to convert everyone I talk to into a customer. Of course, you eat what you kill being in sales. You eat what you kill. I get it. But the fastest way to get through the wall and to sales is to let it go. You're financially independent. Say it with me. I'm financially independent and I don't need the business. Say it with me. I'm financially independent and I do not need the business. Okay? Number 1 tool right there. If you come across as grasping and needy, it's the same in a job interview. People are going to they're going to shy away from you. They're not going to want anything to do with that. So you're financially independent and you do not need the business. And that's going to get you to success a lot faster. Traditional selling kind of puts a lot of pressure on the salesperson because you go out there and you say, here are my features and benefits of this product to people who are listening to you on the phone. And the problem with this sometimes is that the talk on the salesperson's end goes on and on and on and on and on. And this is a big fear of prospects, is that they're going to be stuck on the phone forever listening to a salesperson trying to sell them something that they don't want. So I have ways of getting around this. And then there's those objections and rebuttals, and the objections raised by the prospect really put a lot of pressure on you because then you have to rebut them and, well, no, I think that this happens this other way, and suddenly there's a struggle. In consultative selling, we would like to put the pressure on the prospect by getting them to acknowledge that there is a problem, a serious, urgent problem in their world that needs solving, and here you are, you can solve it. Okay. Now, if they don't have any pain, we're not trying to fake it. We're not trying to create a problem where there isn't one. We're trying to uncover incidences where prospects really do have an urgent emotional need for what you provide, because then the sale is going to occur very quickly. Okay. We must be willing to ask the uncomfortable question. Ask it. Don't. If something's bothering you and you're talking to a prospect, ask the question. It's better to say it and get it out there and get a, no, that's not going to work for us now, than invest all that time and energy continuing in the sales process, putting together a proposal, following up if that's the way you do it, and finally getting to a no later on. I'd rather know now, wouldn't you? All right. If you're prospecting and you are talking to people and they're kind of giving you wishy-washy responses, go for the no. No's are good. Start prospecting and say, I'm not going to stop until I get 10 good no's. It'll take you a while because there's so many people who don't pick up their phone or aren't able to talk right now. Not being ready to talk right now is not a no. A no is, no, thank you for calling. I have no need for your service. Okay. That's okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings when I hear something like that. It just means, great, I got a no. I put the no mark on the page, right in the book here. One like this is how I keep my records as I'm calling. Go for the no. And it sounds like this. Miss Prospect, I hear what you've been saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it just doesn't sound like you're really interested in what I have to offer. Okay, simple enough. And they'll do one of two things. They'll confirm, yeah, you're right. Or they'll back off, because this is called a takeaway, and they'll say, oh, no, 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 I'm interested. I'm sorry I gave you that impression. And they'll start opening up with you a little bit more. We want people to open up with us so we can have real conversations. So we want to focus on qualifying our prospect, in or out. We want, hopefully, to have the pressure on them, not you. We eat what we kill, so we have to continue taking action in order to get to that success point. If we stop and say, oh no, this isn't working after 20 calls or something, you're never going to get there. And we want to go for the no if it looks like this isn't going anywhere. Okay, there was a guy I saw a YouTube video of. It seemed interesting what he had to offer, but he had a little 3-minute egg timer with the sand pouring down. And as soon as he started the call, he turned that thing over and the sand would start falling through. And he'd talk with them. And if that 3 minutes in the egg timer ran out and he hadn't really gone anywhere, he'd wind up the call. He'd go for the no right away. I thought that was a great idea. Okay, I hope that this has been useful to you, and I look forward to any comments you might have and any feedback, any specific questions that I could respond to. I'll either answer them here or in a private message or maybe even in another of these videos. Thanks for watching.